Welcome, I'm Kinetic Symphony. This is Dave. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the supernatural. Case file number 1890, written by anthajay. Chemical Blight in a Strange October Night. This is something that happened to me on October 20th, 21st, 2018. And I still think about it fairly regularly, wondering what the hell actually happened that day. I don't know if it's a glitch in the Matrix or what. All I know is that out of all the things that have happened to me in my life, this has been the most inexplicable. Back in 2018, I was a student in college, and I was living in an off-campus condominium with my roommate and best friend Glenn. It was owned by his mother and stepfather, who were renting it out to us so that we could live closer to campus. It was just Glenn and me living there, along with my cat, Shira. It had 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Glenn had the master bedroom, and the only way to access Glenn's bathroom was by going through his bedroom. We both had very strong boundaries that we respected. We never went into each other's rooms without permission. I wrote all of this stuff down in my journal the morning after it happened, so I'm able to reference it for accuracy. At 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 20th, 2018, my friend Colleen and I met up at my condo to drive together to go and visit our other friend. When we left, everything was completely normal at the condo. Glenn was still home, but he had plans to leave at 6 p.m. and spend the night with his girlfriend like he did most nights. Colleen and I spent time at our friend's apartment until approximately 11 p.m. when she and I decided to leave and head back to my place to hang out for a little while longer before she would head home. She lived just down the block from me, so we were basically going to the same place anyway. When we opened the front door to my condo, we were hit with air that was so thick with Febreze that it literally made our eyes water. It was this awful, fruity scent that was nauseating, which I later found out to be Aloha Febreze. When I say the air was thick with it, I really want to emphasize just how strong it was. It wasn't just a few normal sprays of it. It was as though someone had stood there, utterly emptying a whole air freshener bottle into the air. I remember feeling like my glasses were fogging up, and it stung our eyes. Colleen and I could literally taste the chemical air in our mouths. It was difficult to even be standing in the condo for more than a minute or two. We looked at each other and were like, what the hell did Glenn do this for? Prior to this, I didn't even think we owned any Febreze. Glenn and I are both sensitive sensory-wise, and I couldn't fathom why he had done this. I walked into every room in the condo in disbelief, feeling quite angry to be honest. And I was even more angry when I opened my bedroom and bathroom doors, which always remained closed, and realized that Febreze had been sprayed thickly in there as well. So in my mind, not only had Glenn unloaded an insane amount of Febreze into our condo, but he had also violated the privacy of my bedroom and bathroom. Gone in there to spray Febreze as well. I was both baffled and livid. Colleen and I found the offending bottle of Febreze sitting on the kitchen counter. It was entirely undamaged. No accidental explosion or anything, and half empty. By this point, my lips were tingling from all the Febreze in the air. I'm pretty sure I was having an allergic reaction or something. Colleen and I decided to open all the windows and sit outside the apartment, since the air inside was too oppressive. At 11:28 p.m., I began texting Glenn, trying not to be too angry, but definitely peeved. Can you please not use that air freshener again? I feel like I'm breathing in chemicals and my lips are tingling. I didn't get a response for a while, and eventually, Colleen left. I went back inside around midnight and began attempting to sleep. Due to the amount of Febreze in the air in my bedroom, I couldn't sleep in my bed, and I had to lie down in the living room on the couch next to my open screen door so I could get some fresh air. I'm pretty sure I was having a bad reaction because my tongue and mouth was swelling up, so I took some Benadryl. At 1:37 a.m., I texted Glenn once more. Is it okay if we never use Febreze again? My tongue is developing welts, and my lips are puffing up. I'm a little freaked out. Then, still lying on the couch next to the open window, I fell asleep. In the morning, at 7:32 a.m., Glenn responded to my messages asking if I'm okay, and he said that it sounded like I was having an allergic reaction to something. All I could think was, obviously, to the Febreze you sprayed, but didn't say that since I was trying not to be too angry. I told him that I had taken Benadryl and that I was alright now. At 7:35 a.m., Glenn responded, "Did you use the Febreze before it happened? I want to rule out other stuff like the scented candle." At this point I was annoyed. Obviously, the scented candle was a far less likely factor in what had happened than the practical gallons of Febreze that had been sprayed into the air. I told him as much, and he replied with, "That's something we need to talk to our neighbors about." Even more confused and irritated, I text back. It was the Febreze on our counter. This clearly wasn't the neighbor's doing. I thought he was trying to deflect responsibility for whatever reason. Glenn then asked if our cat had destroyed the Febreze bottle, and said that he would clean it up when he's home. I went back to sleep at this point, not bothering to point out that there was nothing to clean up. Now this is the part that really gets weird. Glenn returned home at 8:38 a.m. and texted me asking me to open the screen door for him. When he walked in, the first thing he said was, "It smells like a bottle of something fruity exploded." I began to accuse him of spraying Febreze all over the condo after Colleen and I left the night before, wondering why he did it, and Glenn became progressively more confused. He said that he had no idea what I was talking about, and that he never sprayed any Febreze in the apartment. I showed him the Febreze I had found on the counter, and he said they kept that bottle exclusively in his bathroom cabinet. Keep in mind that his bathroom was inside the master bedroom, not even the most easily accessible bathroom. Glenn isn't the type of person to play pranks or lie to me, and I could tell that he really meant it when he said he didn't spray the Febreze. We both started freaking the frick out, because that meant someone had to have been in our condo without us knowing, between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. the night before. There were zero signs of forced entry, and nothing was stolen or out of place, other than the Febreze can on the kitchen counter, which Glenn swears had been left as always in the bathroom cabinet. The cat was acting normal. He's also a territorial cat that doesn't take kindly to visitors he doesn't know. We ran through the list of all the people besides us who had keys to our condo. Glenn's mother, she was out of state at the time visiting another family member, and even if she hadn't been, she always told us in advance if she was planning to come visit. Glenn's stepfather, he had no reason to come to the apartment, but we called him anyway and asked if he had been over at all. He was confused why we were calling and said no. My father, he had never been over to visit in all the time we lived there and is deathly allergic to cats, so I highly doubted he had anything to do with this. Still, just to cover all of our bases, we called him and asked, and he said no. My girlfriend? I had been texting with her the entire night, and she definitely wouldn't have come over just to spray Glenn's personal bathroom Febreze all over the condo and then leave. She was just as freaked out by all this as we were. The only other possibility we could think of was that maybe someone from the condo's maintenance team had a key to our condo and came in without permission. The only problem with this was that this took place on a Saturday after 6 p.m. and maintenance both doesn't work on Saturdays and also only works until 5 p.m. on days that they do work. Additionally, we had no maintenance requests or anything of the sort. To be certain that it wasn't maintenance, we walked down to the front office of our complex when they opened on Monday and first asked them if they had a spare key to our condo. They checked and said that they do have one spare key and that it's kept in the office with the spare keys for all the other condos. We then asked if it was possible that anyone from maintenance had been in our condo on Saturday, to which they replied what we'd been expecting: no. The office was closed during the weekend, and no maintenance people were working. I have exhausted all possibilities in my mind for what happened that day. It feels like there's no rational explanation. I wish so much that I could go back in time and set up a camera to record what on earth happened between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. while none of us were home. Something I keep getting caught up on too is, it's such a weird and specific thing to have happened. It would be one thing if someone had broken in without any sign of it and taken something, or rummaged through something. But genuinely, the only thing they did was come in, spray copious amounts of Febreze from a bathroom only accessible through the master bedroom, place it on the kitchen counter, and then leave. I have no explanation, and I doubt I ever will. I have spent years wondering what really happened, or how it was possible. All of my friends know this as the Febreze incident, and they say I always inevitably bring it up in some capacity whenever they come over to visit. I don't think it will ever stop bothering me. Case notes for file 1890. Chemical Blight in a strange October night. Well, let's examine the possibilities. Of the mundane realm, someone could have broken in, found the Febreze bottle in your roommate's bathroom, and decided to just spray it everywhere. That is theoretically possible. And I think that's what most people would simply say, yeah, it's some weirdo who decided to do that, or have... It's like that thief in Home Alone, where his signature is leaving the water faucets on. The signature of this thief is leaving Febreze everywhere. Of course, nothing was stolen, so it wouldn't be a thief. Maybe it's a break-and-entering guy that just goes around, does this for fun, and leaves people puzzled. Okay, so let's acknowledge that that is possible, but also that it's not very likely. Could this be related to sensory input from a different universe? Now, the Febreze bottle was taken out of your roommate's bathroom. That implies that there's some other force at foot. Maybe some sort of spirit prankster? In the non-mundane world, that is the only thing that sort of possibly fits. The embodiment of me as a spirit. Just messing with your minds, and kind of giving you an allergic reaction too, so. Now time for the joke of the day. Dogs can bark up to 500 times per day. But that's just a rough estimate. Give the video a roof, and roof the channel.